we're lucky we raised our round when we did. So those that aren't in the investment community, like most companies trying to raise their Series A right now, are in a lot of hurt. Valuations are probably down at least 40%. And from what I hear, it depends on what industry you're in, but if you're in the consumer industry like we are and in hardware, it's almost impossible to get funding right now. If you're lucky enough to get funding, it's going to be at a depressed valuation. It's a lot of uncertainty, and we're expecting to get into a recession. So having a good amount of runways is important. I can't say like, we have these expectations, we're going to blow numbers out of the water, but at the same time, we're seeing consumer sentiment going down. It's getting harder to acquire customers, but at the same time, it's seasonality. Like, we're not really sure what's going on. That's kind of the truth.
I appreciate you being direct about it. It's like, don't have all the answers, but at the same time, that doesn't mean just because the unsustainable pandemic peak is no longer the norm, people aren't working out at home and there's not going to be demand for this type of product. So I don't think a lot of people think about it like this, but Peloton was founded way before the pandemic, and they were doubling sales every year until I think the most recent quarters when they started to see their downturn, maybe because they got a little too far forward on their skis and not necessarily indicative of at-home fitness.
It's been a bull market, right? There's a lot of capital in the market. And what that means is you can operate a business less efficiently. If there is a recession coming, it's important that the business owner, you have the right unit economics, you have the right metrics in terms of your churn, your retention, your growth rate. But like last year, it didn't matter as much if you were losing X amount of dollars. It was most important that you were hitting these sales metrics, and that gave you that high valuation. You could raise more capital, and then therefore you could hire more people than you actually needed. Now it's going to be different, and those companies that are pretty much overspending and not really watching their unit economics are going to have a bit of a tougher time, and then we might weed out some of the bad companies.
That's how it goes. That's how those cycles work. It's almost as if having that experience bootstrapping at the onset will benefit you as you think about tightening the belt and getting back to the fundamentals.